All right, let's talk about something that happens to absolutely everyone. You're working away in TallyPrime, everything's going great, and then you spot it. A mistake in a ledger. It can feel like a total showstopper, but trust me, the fix is way easier than you think.
So have you ever done this? Maybe it's just a simple typo, or maybe you put in the wrong opening balance. We've all been there. But the great news is, you don't have to delete everything and start over. Let's walk through exactly how you can correct any ledger and do it with confidence.
So first things first, we need to get to the right screen. This is the Ledger Alteration screen, and TallyPrime actually gives you a couple of different ways to get there, so you can just pick whichever one feels most natural to you.
Okay, so you've got two main options here. Method 1, you can go through the chart of accounts, or if you want a more direct route, you can just use the alter command right from the main gateway of Tally screen. Honestly, it doesn't matter which one you choose, they both land you in the exact same spot. All right, now we're in. This is the Ledger Alteration screen. You can think of this as your command center for this specific ledger. Pretty much every detail is right here at your fingertips, ready to be changed.
And I mean, you have a ton of control. You can fix a typo in the name, you can move the ledger to a completely different group, you can adjust that opening balance, or even update things like the address and email. It is all right here, super straightforward.
Now, here's a really important rule to remember. If a ledger is part of your stock in hand, TallyPrime will not let you manually change the closing balance. And there's a good reason for this. That balance is automatically calculated from all your sales and purchase vouchers. So Tally locks it down to make sure your inventory records stay perfectly accurate. It's a built-in safety feature, really.
Okay, so what if your problem is bigger? What if you need to change a whole bunch of ledgers at once? Or maybe you just need to get rid of one completely. Well, Tally has some powerful tools for that too, but you gotta know the rules of the road.
This one is a massive time saver. Instead of opening up ledgers one by one, just head to your chart of accounts, hit the shortcut Alt+H for multi-masters, and then choose multi-alter. Boom! You can now edit a whole list of ledgers all on one screen. So much faster.
But there is a little catch. The multi-alter mode is fantastic for making broad changes, like say, moving a dozen ledgers into a new group. But it doesn't give you access to every single detailed field. So for things like changing a specific address or an email ID, you'll still need to pop into that individual ledger screen we looked at first.
Now, what if you have a ledger that's just old, obsolete, and you want it gone for good? It's literally this simple. Just get to that ledger's alteration screen using either of those two paths we talked about and hit the shortcut Alt-D. Tally will ask if you're sure, you say yes, and it's gone.
But here's that super important safety net again. Tally will not let you delete a ledger if there are any transactions, any vouchers at all, attached to it. This is a fantastic feature because it prevents you from accidentally creating black holes in your financial records. If you really need to delete it, you'd have to find and remove every single transaction associated with it first.
Look, making these changes is pretty easy, but you want to make sure you're doing it safely, right? So before you hit that save button, let's just quickly run through a couple of critical reminders to keep your data safe and sound.
Think of this as your pre-flight checklist. 1, always double-check what you've typed. It saves so many headaches later. 2, if you're about to make a big change, please take a backup first. It's the best undo button in the world. And 3, if you ever get stuck, don't guess. The official Tally documentation is your best friend.
Let's wrap up by tackling a super common real-world problem. You know when you make a change, you save it, but for some reason Tally just doesn't seem to be showing it? Yeah, let's fix that.
So imagine this. This is a real situation. You're trying to make a tiny fix, like changing a lowercase LLP to an uppercase LLP. You change it, you save it, but every time you look, the old name is still there. It can be incredibly frustrating.
Well, the solution is usually one of two very simple things. First, just try restarting Tally. You know, the classic turn it off and on again? That often clears out any cached data and forces the new name to show up. If that doesn't do the trick, do a quick search and make absolutely sure you don't have another ledger with that exact same name causing a conflict.
And that is really all there is to it. You now have the complete toolkit to manage, alter, delete, and troubleshoot any ledger in TallyPrime. No more roadblocks. So now that you've got all this knowledge in your back pocket, you're totally in control of your data. Which makes me wonder, what's the next big TallyPrime challenge you'd like us to break down? Let us know.